Close-up look at all your Concho Valley High School football. This is Inside the Game, sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group.
Welcome to Inside the Game. I'm your host, Jaden Hart, joined this week by Rachel Turnock in the studio. What an exciting night of high school football do we have coming into this week. Small schools 4A and down, just 2 weeks remaining in the regular season, meaning it's moving week. Some had the chance to clinch a district title, solidify their spot in the playoffs, or even keep those postseason aspirations alive. Before we get into all of that, though, we start with the Central Bobcats, who are now just entering their 6th week of the season. Yeah, so far so good for the Angry Orange and their exciting return to the Little Southwest Conference, coming into their game tonight in sole possession of first place in the district with a 35-7 handling of the Friendship Tigers on the road last week. Their best defensive game by holding Friendship to just 260 yards of total offense. Yeah, that was a result. Or because of that result, that's the 18th straight district win as a member of the Little Southwest Conference. A reminder to West Texas of just how dominant they were in the last decade. Now with the struggling Odessa Broncos coming into town, could they keep that streak going and remain unbeaten through the first half of district? Well, the Broncos are 0-2 on the year, coming off a loss to Midland High last week. A slow start for Central, but they got going late in the first quarter. Malachi Brown passes to Weston Hill. He goes untouched. First 6 Bobcats. They go up 7-0. Just like that, early second quarter. Broncos trying to get on board, and they do, thanks to this effort by Jadrian Cervantes. Fights his way in for the touchdown to tie this game up at 6. Next possession by the Bobcats. Malachi Brown again, this time looking, and he heaves this down to none other than Trip Noble. He beats his defender for the score. Bobcats retake the lead 14-7. The Bobcats would score 31 unanswered points, and the fans like that. They go on to beat Odessa High 38-7. So let's see how the others did in 2-6A. Big one out in Midland between Abilene and Lee, and the Rebels just dominant. They win 51-19. Then over in Odessa, Permian trying to bounce back after its loss to the Eagles last week. They get past Friendship 36-27. So that means the Bobcats still sit in the top spot in the district after 3 weeks. They get Midland next week and still have to face Permian Lee to end the season. Abilene sitting there in the 5th spot. They've gotten through the brute of their schedule, so expect to see them start moving up in the coming weeks. So, as I mentioned at the top of the show, this was moving week for our small schools. For the Lakeview Chiefs and the Big Spring Steers, tonight's regular season finale was pretty black and white as far as postseason scenarios go. Yeah, despite the fact that all 4 teams in District 2 4A Division 1 make it to the playoffs, the Chiefs needed to go into tonight's game with a must-win mentality. They were still playing for 3rd place, and you'll hear every head coach tell you, you never want to go into an open week with a loss hanging over your head. Yeah, in Big Springs, they've owned this matchup since 2000. They've won 9 of the past 13. The Chiefs, well, they're looking for their first 5-win season since 2014. Could they get it done? 3rd place in 2-4A, both looking for a first district win. Big Spring got off on the right foot, getting in the red zone quickly, and that would set the tone from there. Because senior Jose Cantu takes care of the rest. Easy score for the Steers, and they go on to take the lead. And he was just getting started. There's nothing Jose Cantu can't do. Another touchdown for him, and the Steers walk away with their first district win, 35-21. Lakeview finishes the regular season winless in district. So Fort Stockton wins the district title. Somewhat of a shocker tonight. They beat Andrews 47-35. That means the Mustangs finish in second. Big Spring again takes third place, and the Chiefs finish in fourth place. And here's who Lakeview would play in the bi-district round in 2 weeks. It's a rematch from last year's matchup in the first round. Clint beat El Paso Riverside 14-13 tonight, so they're the 4-1A Division I champs. Last season, the Lions beat the Chiefs 34-21. As for the time and location of this one, well, all of that information is still up in the air. Well, Coach Guevara and the coach from Clint will have to get that figured out, and that could be a whole mess with 6A still playing. That's actually something we saw this week, was 6A with them still playing, the teams in 4A and down. Normally they're able to play at some of these 6A stadiums for playoff games, but with that still going on right when they start playoffs in 2 weeks, that could kind of spell a bit of a, not a disaster, but could make things a little challenging. So we might have a Saturday game or plenty of Saturday games coming up.
Possibly. I don't know if we'd also see any Thursday games too. That's a possibility, but I'm definitely down for some Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening high school football in the playoffs. You gotta love it. Yeah, no doubt. It's easier for us. But hey, we are just getting started here on Inside the Game. The Wall Hawks looking to make up ground in 3A Division I tonight. Could they pull off a win? And Ballinger taking on Baines in District 2 3A Division II. Title on the line in that one. More right after this.
This update sponsored by Bug Express.
Renew, refresh, and redecorate. That's what we're doing at Trend Furniture, and we want to help you with 4 years, no interest. Plus, we've brought in new and exciting American companies. Come to Trend Furniture across from Sunset Mall, 4002 Wellington.
The El Dorado Game Association regrets that they will not be hosting their annual Hunters Appreciation Dinner this year due to COVID-19 restrictions. Instead, they're offering a drawing for 50-plus guns. Tickets will be available for $1 on Saturday, November the 7th from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the El Dorado Civic Center, 1 mile south of town. Come out for a chance to win a cooler and gift certificate. For more information, please call 853-3331 or click eldoradogame.org to purchase your tickets in advance.
Several years ago, Judge Steve Floyd and our county commissioners made a historic decision to relocate the Tom Green County Jail approximately 6 miles north of San Angelo. This state-of-the-art facility will be able to house over 550 inmates, with a price tag just under $71 million. Here at Concho Bail Bonds, we are strong supporters of this worthy and well-completed project, and we look forward to continue to offer the same quality services to all our valuable clients. At Concho Bail Bonds, it's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us.
It's time again for Teacher of the Week, sponsored by Concho Educators Federal Credit Union. Go to ConchoValleyHomepage.com and tell us how your teacher goes above and beyond. They could win great prizes, including a plaque from Angelo Awards, a teacher appreciation bag from Concho Educators, a gift card from Holiday Cleaners, a flower bouquet from Southwest Florist, a delicious cake from City Cafe and Bakery, and a gift certificate from Olive Garden. Teacher of the Week is sponsored by Concho Educators Federal Credit Union. Go to ConchoValleyHomepage.com for more info.
On November 3rd, join KSAN for election night coverage.
From the president to the Senate and all of your local elections.
Get the latest updates throughout the night from the KSAN newsroom. Election night coverage is sponsored by Kohl's Diamond and Design.
And we're back. Just 2 weeks ago, the Wall Hawks 52-game winning streak in district. That dated back to 2010 was snapped when they fell to Gymnet, putting them 1 game back of the 2 leaders in 3A. And tonight, well, they had a chance to take over sole possession of second place in the district with a win over Clyde.
Yeah, and history is on the side of Wall. I like that. The Hawks have won the last 5 meetings against the Bulldogs, but they'll have their hands full tonight on defense for sure, dealing with an offense averaging 296 yards per game. An offense that can hurt you with the long ball, which is something that head coach Houston Guy emphasized to us this week with his secondary.
You know, defensive coordinator Craig Slaughter has had those guys prepared time and time again. It's a defense that's been impressive for the Hawks this season and in the past. They're holding opponents to just under 17 points per game this season.
So could the Hawks hand the Bulldogs their first district loss this season? Well, Wall moving the ball. Gabe Haskins rolls to his right, then pitches this back to Dominic Garcia. That would be a huge gain for a Wall first down, and then later on in that drive, Haskins pitches it back to Chase Rios. He does the rest. Goes in untouched for the touchdown. 28-7. Hawks extend their lead, and Wall gets the win tonight over Clyde, 36-13, the first district loss for the Bulldogs. And the TLCA Eagles on the road tonight against Early. The Longhorns get the win over the Eagles, 52-6. TLCA, they will wrap up their regular season at home next Friday.
So I mentioned that impressive streak that Wall had, and district champion-wise, they won 10 straight, and they still have a chance to claim that 10th straight district title, but will need some help. If Jim Ned loses to Clyde next week and the Hawks beat Early, then there will be a three-way at the top, a three-way tie, that is, at the top of the standings. Then it will go to a determination of points scored and points against. As for the other three teams, the Longhorns clinched the final playoff spot tonight, which means Breckenridge and TLCA have officially been eliminated. Big one over in 2-3A Division II tonight between Bangs and Ballinger. Both teams having a great season so far. The Bearcats with their best record through 8 games since 2001. The Dragons still undefeated up to this point. That's the first time that's happened since 2005. Something's got to give, and one of those teams could cap it off with a district title.
The Bearcats, they come in 8-1, 3-0 in district play, riding on a 4-game winning streak. Their 5th straight would be just oh so sweet. The Dragons, they're coming in undefeated, though.
Very two similar teams. They both like to beat their opponents on the ground and with defense. Ballinger is holding teams to under 12 points per game. Bangs 9-0. By the way, Chuck Lipsy, the head coach for Ballinger, he's been a part of this matchup with both programs. And when coaching in this matchup, Lipsy's team has won the past 4 games. Could he make it 5? First quarter, Bangs at main midfield. Ethan Cortez with the keeper, and the ball is out. Tyler Vaughn jumps on it. Ballinger football, and they're going to capitalize on this. Carter Arrett just rolling out to his right. I think he was going to run and then says, hey, Vaughn's wide open, touchdown. 13-yard strike. Ballinger takes a 7-0 lead. Let's jump ahead really far into the future. 1 minute remaining in the first half. That's Bangs in the red zone. That's Cortez to Guy Powell. That made it 13-all going into the break. But I mentioned that Ballinger defense, well, it shut Bangs out in the second half, and the offense kept adding points. They get a huge win tonight, 25-13.
Grape Creek, they were at home hosting the Sonora Broncos tonight. First quarter, Sonora blocks an Eagles punt. First and goal, Hunter O'Bannon takes the handoff. He just walks right in for 6. 8-0 Broncos after a successful 2-point conversion to the second quarter. Same score, Cale Sherrill, son of Kevin Sherrill, handles the low snap. Jets weaving through. The defense in for 6. More, another 2 PAT, makes 16-0 Broncos. Still in the second, Sonora not done. Sherrill rolls out, finds Jamie Butron, who takes it in for another 8 points. And then before the half, how about another? Sherrill adds another rushing TD. Broncos, they led 32-0 at the half. They cruise to a win in Grape Creek on the road, 44-14.
So how about Eagles? Brady hosting Ingram Moore? Bulldogs clinch a playoff spot with a win. First quarter, first Bulldogs drive, and they punch it in. J.D. Ibarra with the touchdown. Brady on top, 7-0. Still in the first quarter, Hayden Burnett just slings one up, and senior receiver, one of the leaders on the team, Parker Leonard, scoring the touchdown. He's pumped up and excited. Brady up 14-0, and they would keep their foot on the gas. Second quarter, Burnett keeps it for himself, showing off some moves, and finds Pater. Touchdown, Bulldogs. 24-zip at that point, and they are going to clinch that much-coveted playoff spot. They win 53-34. So here's where we are in 2-3A. Ballinger has clinched at least a share of the district title. The Bearcats will be outright champs if they beat Sonora next week, but don't count out Sonora. If the Broncos beat Ballinger next week and Bangs loses to Brady, then they're the outright district champs. If Bangs wins, then there's a 3-way tie. As for Ingram Moore and Grape Creek, well, they have no shot of making the playoffs now. So despite Ballinger getting that big win, and it is big because, like I said, they at least are district champions in some sort of fashion, Sonora kind of controls their own destiny now and can make things really interesting. And that's going to be a big one at Bronco Stadium.
Such a huge game at Sonora next week. That's a huge one.
Well, another big game was in 2A tonight between Ozona and Mason. District title likely on the line. We'll have the highlights from that game and the rest of 2A right after this.
We're the Ballinger Bearcats, and you're watching Inside the Game. We're the Erie County Hornets, and you're watching Inside the Game. Let's go, Hornets!
This update sponsored by Bug Express.
Hi, I'm Mike with MGB, Mike's Gold Buyers. Gold and silver prices are terrific, which means more money for your gold, silver, and diamonds. Come to MGB and you'll say,
I sold gold and I like Mike.
On Avenue N by Angelo State.
It's strange, but I don't need space from you. In every single thing you do, it feels nice.
Surround yourself with tech. Save $2,000 on the 2020 Nissan Kicks, or get 0% financing for up to 84 months on 14 models.
Aren't you tired of being tired? Shop Denver Mattress today and get all the Z's you need.
And during the Veterans Day sale, check out the budget-friendly Summit Firm. Easy on the wallet for only $189.99. Shop our Doctor's Choice Original lineup starting at only $569.99. And to celebrate our newest arrival, test out the outrageously comfortable Casper mattress. Plus 5 years no interest and free shipping.
Say goodbye to tossing and turning and hello to a better night's sleep. Only at Denver Mattress.
When life is busy, stay up to date with all your news throughout the Concho Valley online, covering the stories that affect your community. Watch CVHP News with Sonora Scott, only on ConchoValleyHomepage.com.
Hello, I'm Barry with Unlimited Air, your San Angelo's cooling and heating specialist. And that would be Shane. Shane, what are you doing? Are you going to get your hands dirty today?
Unlimited Air can help with odors in your home by sanitizing and deodorizing your AC and heating systems. Unlimited Air can clean your AC and heating ductwork. Unlimited Air can clean your dryer vents.
How is the air quality in your home?
And remember, at Unlimited Air, it's all about the service.
Welcome back. In his first year as the head coach of his alma mater, Jared Taylor has led Ozona right into the picture for a district title. As many expected, though, entering the season, the Lions and Mason have been the best two teams in 14-2A Division I. And tonight, they square off in a matchup that would more than likely crown a district champion. First time these two programs have met on a football field since 2015. First quarter, Ozona in striking range. Jesse Vega, well, he faked out our cameraman, and he finds a Logan Fate for the touchdown. Lions up 6-0 after a missed extra point. Later in the first quarter, Mason would respond. That's Matthew Kerr, and he keeps going past the Ozona defense into the end zone for 6. But we are tied at 6 because another missed extra point. Now in the second, that's Joe Perez leaping over the would-be tacklers for the touchdown. The Lions led 12-6 at that point, and they would trade the lead a couple more times. But Mason is going to come away the victors tonight, 27-18, their 10th straight district championship. So, looking at the district standings, Mason can clinch an outright title with a win next week. Ozona technically still in the mix, though. The Lions could be co-champs with the Punchers if Mason loses and beats Johnson City. The same could go for Johnson City, though, because if they beat Ozona next week, then they would share co-champions with Mason if the Punchers lose. Harper secures the final playoff spot with a win tonight, so Brackettville and Centerpoint have officially been eliminated.
The Cristobal Cougars have the chance to clinch a share of the District 14-2A Division II title tonight. A win over Junction, that will do the job. They can win the outright title, but they'll need some help, which we'll explain here in just a bit. But what the Cougars have done this season is just impressive. After losing their first game of the season to Wink, the Cougars went on a 7-game winning streak, recently taking down the El Dorado Eagles to improve to 7-1 and 3-0 in district play. Tonight, the Cougars welcome in the Junction Eagles, who suffered their first district loss to Rock Springs last week. First drive of the game, Braden Wilcox, he's just doing Wilcox things, surveying the field, got plenty of time, works back right, finds his good buddy Bo Jolly for the touchdown, gets the feet in bounds. Cougars strike first. Casey Otha loves that. They would strike off the next possession. Wilcox connects with catcher Joyner for 6. He's easily in for Cristobal. They go on top 14-0. Coach Catrucci trying to find an answer for the 8th-ranked team in the state. Second quarter, Chance Condarco's pass that is picked off. Jolly's second interception of the game. So this wasn't just Cristobal's offense, their defense coming up big. They win 55-6 over Junction, and the El Dorado Eagles, speaking of them, they bounce back after losing to Cristobal last week, taking care of business on the road at Menard tonight. Miles also on the road tonight. They fall to Rock Springs. The Bulldogs, they will host Cristobal next Friday. El Dorado, they are going to be on the road at Junction.
Well, here's the picture heading into next week. Cristobal can claim their first outright district title since becoming an 11-man program back all the way in 1994. Regardless, though, they are a district champion. If they lose, though, El Dorado could beat Junction, and that could make a co-champ scenario. El Dorado can lock up the 2 seed with a win, but if they lose, then we have a 3-way tie and a whole mess that gets started between El Dorado, Rock Springs, and Junctions. But regardless, those are your 4 playoff teams, the top 4 that you see there, because Miles needed a win in order to keep those hopes alive. They got that loss, as you just saw. Menard also eliminated from postseason contention. So we kind of are getting a little bit of a better picture, but as I said, it was moving week, but things are still a little jumbled up. But as far as the Cristobal Cougars, the 8th-ranked team in the state right now, a lot of people have them going far in the playoffs, and it could set up a matchup with Falls City in their region, and that is going to be a big game. But Coach Otho is going to tell me and tell everyone else, just like he would tell his team, they're looking just at Miles next week.
Pump the brakes. Yep.
Exactly. We'll dive into the world of 6-man football heading into after the commercial break, Paint Rock against Eden, and then last night's Erie and County very best game. But first, let's check out the Bulls fan cam.
Inside the Game is provided by Chick-fil-A.
Shop local, stay safe, and keep downtown strong.
In Texas, whether it's work or play, Ford trucks lead the way with premium features that make the Ford F-Series America's best-selling truck for 43 years and the best-selling truck in Texas. Upgrade to a new F-Series today at your Texas Ford dealer. Drive home a new F-150 with over 11,000 total savings. Ford F-Series, built for Texas, built for you.
Hi, I'm Mike with MGB, Mike's Gold Buyers. Gold and silver prices are terrific, which means more money for your gold, silver, and diamonds. Come to MGB and you'll say,
I sold gold and I like Mike.
On Avenue N by Angelo State.
It's time. It's time for you to focus on your dreams. Our world is changing every day, but our commitment to you doesn't. Howard College knows that graduating is more than just about earning a degree. No matter where you start or how you finish, we're on this journey with you. With additional scholarship and financial aid opportunities available, your dream is affordable. Are you ready? We're ready for you.
For the latest news, or to unwind with some engaging conversations about sports, entertainment, and everything in between, go to ConchoValleyHomepage.com/live and check out our webcasts.
Coming into the season, next week's matchup between Erie and Eden, and Erie County was viewed as a game that would more than likely determine the district champion, but then Water Valley emerged and proved everybody wrong. And now that matchup is going to determine who makes the playoffs, but first they had to win this week.
Yeah, against Paint Rock, coming in not only trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, but earn their first district win this season. So could they get it on the road tonight at Eden, or would the Bulldogs, will they protect their house? 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Bulldogs up 23-6. Paint Rock's Brandon Belt takes the snap, avoids some tackles, goes to the edge of the sideline, almost pushed out of bounds, avoids even more tackles. Bulldogs can't bring him down. That's a big boy touchdown. He breaks free, takes it to the house. Wow, touchdown Paint Rock. Second quarter, Eden leading 29-14. Hunter Rogers pitches it back to Javier O'Malley. Gets some blocks, goes up the sideline to the end zone. Touchdown Eden. They extend their lead 37-14, and Eden, they'd go on to roll over Paint Rock tonight 59-14.
Okay, Erie County's turn. They were taking on Very Best last night. Only one loss this season. Remember that. Connor Barnes is going to dial one up for Very Best, and that's Bo Dunn, who comes up with it and walks into the end zone. The Falcons were only down 6 after the extra point, but from that point forward, it was all Erie County. That's Trevin Kofeld to Parker Connor for the easy pitch and catch. Hornets up 14 at that point, and then here, another touchdown. Osceola Garza with a carry, and Erie County got a big win, 57-8. So let's see what that means for the district. It's pretty straightforward. Water Valley has clinched the district title, at least a share of it. If they lose, the winner of next week's game between Eden and Erie County could potentially be co-champs, and then it could also set up a scenario where we have ties. But regardless, remember Eden, Erie County next week, playoff appearance.
Let's go to Robert Lee. They're hosting number 3 Westbrook. We'll pick it up first quarter. Wildcats looking to extend their lead. Shama Stark finds Hodley White, shakes the tackle. Nobody will catch him. Touchdown, Westbrook in front, 14-0. And spoiler alert, Westbrook would go on to win this one big over Robert Lee, 45-0. We're going to speed through these. Sterling City plays Highland tomorrow at 1 p.m., so check that one out. They'll have the score tomorrow on KSAN News at 6. And then Blackwell gets a win. First time in action in 3 weeks, 62-12 over Trent. Next week, we will have all of the finality of the 4A through down, small school action wrapping up. Until then, we'll see you next time.
Inside the Game is sponsored by Mitchell Automotive Group.